road that you took from Jueves until Too Late to Die Young?
It seems a long time. 2012, it was, I feel younger then. It was also a beautiful tour with the film. It was my first experience, like traveling with a film, showing to an audience, like a feature film. And after Thursday till Sunday, it was very difficult. I started this project. I had this idea, but it was very difficult to finance. So I started doing other things, little exhibitions, Mar, which is 1 hour, The Island, a short film produced by Indy Lisboa, Los Barcos. And I think it was also nice to do a small, like more spontaneous projects that kind of opened my mind to do this film in another way. I think for me, Too Late to Die Young kind of gained layers while I was writing, because I was sure the film wasn't in the script. I wanted to make a film alive, and the experience of doing more improvisation and more like very low budget films in between Thursday till Sunday and this film, I think kind of changed my way of shooting, and also of being more open myself to other forms or exploring other things.
You won the best award, the best director award at Locarno Film Festival, and I think that you are the first woman to have won this award. How do you feel about that? And can you tell us a little bit your opinion on the equality between the 50-50 equality on 2020 that is imposing towards directors?
So the award in Locarno was a very big surprise. It's a festival that I admire a lot. I've never been there before, so it was my first time in Locarno. It was very special also to be selected in that section where some of my favorite directors were before, or where, for example, Raúl Ruiz won an award. And also the prize, of course, was a big surprise. And what is nice is that the jury told me they didn't know it was the first woman to win the prize. So it wasn't like a political prize. They realized after the press realized it was the first woman. I was the first woman to win. So this opened my question about that too. That I think it's great that more women are doing films. I think not just women, that we need more visions, no? Cinema is like different perspective of the world in a public way, and we have been like, sorry, my English is very bad today. No, but ¿entiendes español? No.
Sí.
No, but it's okay. So we had read the story. We had read all the story of cinema and also history through men. So I think it's very exciting, this new period where we have new visions and we have more equality. But I would love to go into a moment where gender is not an issue also. So now, like genderless, no? I think for me cinema has not to do with lands, it has not to do with the gender, it has to do with something more transcendental. So
art is genderless.
It's genderless, no?
Yes.
So for me, what I like in Too Late to Die Young is that the main character is in definition, no? Sofia is youth. It's not like a girl or a boy. I think I like to explore these no borders and indefinitions toward the film. There's no borders between the human and the nature. There's no border between interior and exterior. If kids and adults are kind of, it's confusing who are the more adults, and also feminine, masculine. So I'm happy more women are able to do films now. I think we have to have like this equality. I think quotes are like a paracetamol, you know, something that probably we need, but I hope we will not need in the future.
also feel that in your film there are biographical elements. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience? I mean, have you lived actually in a community like that? I mean, is it how personal this is?
All my work has like personal elements. I think I pick some things of my life or things I've been observing, and I arrive on the 89 to arrive to a community that is similar to the one that is portrayed in the film. It's called Comunidad Ecológica de Peñalolén. So my parents decided to move there in the 89, just the last year of dictatorship when democracy will come. And it was a very special life for me, a childhood there. I ended up living 20 years of my life in this community. I saw all the transformation of this place. But I like to say personal rather than autobiographical. I think there are personal materials, but it's not that I am in one of the characters. Probably I'm all the characters a little bit. And the most personal and autobiographical thing for me in Too Late to Die Young has to do with the place. This is a place that I know by heart, like every stone, every tree, that I have a very close relationship with this land. And it's why I decided to shoot in the same place, the film. Even though now it's very different as it was at the beginning. There are like 400 houses, it's more modern, or I decided to have this restriction of coming back to this same place and find a way to portray a more like non-developed community.
Emotionally, how easy it was for you to film your hometown? I mean, to be able to, usually they say in photography, especially the hardest things to photograph is your hometown and your parents and the people that you're so involved emotionally. So how was it for you?
It was natural. It was natural. It was beautiful. I moved to this place, so I was like riding to the shooting every day. I come back every time to this place. My mother still lives there. So what was special, it was to create a new community, to portray an old community. And for me, also, it's a film that is inspiring this real community, but we create like a totally fictional film. So the place doesn't look as the one that I remember, and the time is not exactly 89. So I think this is what is beautiful in film, that you create a place and time that doesn't exist in the tangible.
Still, even though that you say it doesn't exist, visually the film it transforms us into 1989. I don't know, was that intentional, or how did you work your aesthetic style?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the transport you to another time and place, but it's timeless. It can be 89, but it can be the 70 or the 80 for someone else. It transports you to another time, like it's a nostalgia of a time that cannot be happening now, but it's not as clear that it's 89, I think. And I have a lot of reference of pictures of my childhood in this place. We took this as a reference, the light of these pictures. Also some VHS tapes that I found from the 90s, and they were great. I like that I wanted to portray something from the past, but not without colors. And I think in the VHS tapes you have this quality of the images where some colors survives and the other disappears. So the film has colors, has red, has yellow, but there is not green or blue. So we were, we were exploring these references. What else? I don't know, I work with Inti Briones, he's a great DOP. I work with Estefania Larraín in the art department. We worked together before, so it was like a very collaborative experience. Also with people from the place, with actors that currently live there. As I was saying before, I was sure that the film wasn't in the script. It was a film that has to be somewhere else. So we were like, I had everything very planned, but at the same time I was looking to the place, trying to capture something alive with this kind of dream of portraying something or document some emotions. That is what moved me in cinema.
While watching the film, you have the feeling that since you're in the nature and in this community of, away from the dangers of the city, however, you have a fire in the film and you see the dangers of the nature there. Why did you choose to this quite peaceful piece of work to add turbulence?
I think that was the starting point of the film. And it was,
so it was like all going to the fire.
Yes. Actually, the starting point was a fire. Was a fire that I experienced when I was a little girl in this community. And I never saw the fire, the real fire, because I was in a water trying to be safe. And 20 years later, I found these VHS tapes with the recordings of that day. And I was able to watch the flames on the fire for the first time. And I remember very clear in this image a picture of a woman with a tree trying to turn off the fire. And I thought how interesting was this contradiction, no? All these people trying to be safe of the city, and at the same time trying to fight against the nature and this big forest fire. So I like this idea of these people moving away of the dangers of the city, but confronting the dangers of nature. And I think it's kind of an auto-exile of these people, but they're confronted by themselves also. And so I had I had the title, Today Young. I had this fire, and I was thinking, what is before? What is all this kind of a sumo accumulation until everything burns out?
Wonderful. Okay, last question. What's your next project?
Okay, I'm just starting to write another film. I think it's gonna be different of the things before. I wanted to jump into the ocean, like literally. I don't know if I will shoot in Chile or not, so it's very open, but I cannot tell, like, it's difficult to me to explain now. But I think it has to do with no territories, no? With a place where it's like no land, no man's, how do you say?
No man's land.
No man's land. And I also working hardly in a project that is not a film, that is a cinema place in Santiago. So we are building a place, it's called CCC, Centro de Cine y Creación. It's gonna be a new art house cinema in Santiago. We don't have like too much places to watch films in Chile. So I'm very excited about this project. I'm one of the founders and artistic director, and we are rebuilding the place, and we will open the first stage in December with a bar, a cinema, workshops, in offices, and a gallery. Yeah.
Congratulations! Sounds fantastic.
Thank
Opening
you.
an art house cinema and doing it's like
Thank you.
True.
Thank
Nice
you so
seeing
much.
you again.
Nice to see you too.
Welcome back to Indy, and we'll see each other at Kulturgest for your second screening.
Yes, at 7:15.
7:15, yes.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, my English is so bad that I